Hi everyone, and welcome to the third part of our Be Well at Circle K podcast for the Coast to Coast journey. This week I'm sitting down with two of the OGs who took part in both events over the 2 years. We've got Rochelle from our finance team and Anthony from our res team. Rochelle is somebody who I know is extremely passionate about being part of the team. We used to use a phrase that every team needs a Rochelle, but I think it's clear to say every team, every coast to coast needs a Rochelle, and you'll hear why it's important, and we'll make sure to get her hooked in next year. And then I've got Anthony, a close friend of mine, who really share why coast to coast was important to him. And I do want to congratulate, since he's done that run, he's also completed the Dublin Marathon. So have a listen in. It closes off the series, gives you a real rounded view. And I know when you hear this, you'll see why it's such an important charity to be supporting into the future. Hi, Rochelle.
Hi, Paul. How are you?
This time last week, you were probably filling up on your breakfast, getting ready for the run. Is that
Yeah,
right?
fueling. Usually my breakfast might be a bit of fruit.
Okay.
I do dabble a little bit in intermittent fasting,
Yeah.
but not last week because just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure I had the right reserves in the
Yeah.
body. So it's usually maybe a banana, sometimes a mandarin, but usually I won't eat till maybe 12 or 1.
Okay. And what time was your fourth run at last week?
Yeah, so there was a lot of hanging around last week.
Okay.
Real opportunity to fundraise, just in case Sean's listening.
Yeah.
So I got on site in Athlone from about 11:30. So we were
Okay.
shaking buckets for most of the day.
Yeah.
Again, just taking some fueling time, whether it was a bit of lunch. But I think it was a real location for everybody as a hub. This is where we're kind of checking in, even if it's a crowd coming from Galway. So I didn't make it the whole way to Galway. My starting point was just outside Athlone towards Ballinasloe.
Okay.
So I didn't really get to run till I think it was about 7:10, maybe 10 to 8.
Oh.
So we had about 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes of daylight, and then it went into full on night time and country roads, not very lit up. So really got to hear the sound of nature, which I love.
Yeah.
I think that brings us all back to centre when you hear nature and animals and all that. Yeah.
And who was your running partner?
So I had 3 buddies.
Okay.
I had Anda. It was great to get to know Anda again.
Yeah.
Not
How
very
was your
often.
ears after that?
Wonderful. Yeah. She's full of chat.
Yeah.
Such an interesting character.
Yeah.
But like that, I'm in the support office most of the time, so really don't get to mix with site people or colleagues that often. But Anna's such a beacon. Like even throughout the day, when we were on sites fundraising, her natural instinct was to go to customers just as they're getting out of the car. Would you like them to fuel for you today? She's big into and big into or the pumps clean, which they were, but she's like, oh, it could be a little bit better. So she was demoing to us that whole project. So like just so much goes on in site. So it's just nice to have someone in the team that actually is familiar with sites, so you learn a bit more in a different perspective. And then I had the lovely Jack from Global Procurement. So again,
nice guy.
I think it just shows again the reach of this cause. It touches everybody. That there's more connection from not just us as a BU in the support office, like supporting the main Irish business, but there's a lot of representatives from the global team. And then also had my running partner from last year, Connor. So we were trying to sing him a few happy birthday wishes. That's his 30th was approaching. So a really nice group. And then support drivers, a mixture of Mark, again, Global Procurement, Sean, and then either Adam or Paddy, because they had the lead vehicle with the clock.
That's great.
Yeah.
Which was a nice build on last year, wasn't it? Having
Incredible.
the clock.
Incredible,
well, if somebody has said to me it was a good and a bad thing. So good in the sense of you knew what you were working towards, bad and you're looking at it thinking, I've still got.
Yeah, the first run.
It feels like I've been running for 5 minutes and I look and it's like 45 seconds.
So for the first run, so we were the 5th team, so it was kind of between the 4-hour mark, maybe 5.5-hour mark. Like, God, we get to like 22 or 23. So you're like, it's that whole, we're only here. We've got a whole mountain to get over. But it wasn't just that. You kind of took the opportunity to boast as you're going through places. If the clock was 6 hours, 10 hours, and people are like, oh my God, you're running 10 hours. Like, we were. We're wrecked, but we're still looking and pushing out. Yeah.
Very good. And tell me, what was the highlight of, it was about 24 hours, correct? All in. What was the highlight?
I think for me, ultimately just the connections of people, whether it was the runners, the support team, but just meeting members of the public. Like people are just so different and unique. And I think the cause for Pieta, like, it touches so many people, whether it's someone you know, and I know we've talked about this a lot, but it's just one of those causes that impacts everybody. And it was amazing. And people would come up to you and say, "Oh, it's such a good cause," and I had a friend or my son. It's really heartbreaking. So I think to be part of something that has such a national reach and can help people in communities, in our families, friends, I think for me that's the part I'm really proud of. And then I think just getting to know colleagues a little bit better, site staff as well. I mean, they all showed up. I think what was really nice about our group is that we had someone from site. I don't remember if there was someone from site on the relay
I think
teams
that was
last
one
year.
of the learnings last year that we didn't get. So,
and I think that was powerful in itself. And then Anda felt so proud, like, oh, my team are out, and then the teams on sites were so proud. So I think that pushed more fundraising as well. So yeah, it was really, really. I even said last year, I think it's probably the best thing I've done in my life, just having that connection with people, group environment, and then helping such a great cause.
Yeah, and I think you said something there which is poignant. We talk a lot about Pieta, but we have to keep talking about Pieta and all that they do, because that's part of the reason that you've done it. And what was the hardest part of the 24 hours?
Staying awake. I was quite tired.
Did you get any sleep?
I did, and I didn't last year. So I probably kipped for after that second leg. We had the freshen up in the Sheraton in Athlone. Again, great to have parties like that supporting us as well. So feeling fresh, got a bit of kip in the back of the car, but again, you're sitting in the car.
What are we talking? An hour?
We had a good 2 hours. I'd say probably 50 minutes proper sleep time, but again, it's a little bit,
It's better than having nothing if you didn't have that last year.
Yeah, and I heard some cars had snorers, so I was glad not to.
and there wasn't a snore.
No, she wasn't.
Okay.
No.
So the hardest piece was the lack of sleep. And in total, how many kilometers did you actually run?
I clocked it up, so I was at just under 44k. But I think some of the other relay teams might have even touched 50k.
Wow.
I think Danny might have been up to 65, but I mean, he's just like an enthusiastic runner anyway.
But all of those numbers are phenomenal numbers. And I know people train for marathons a lot, but that's a different fitness, because you're running, stopping, running, stopping, running. There's a lot of bodies. Temperature's up, body temperature down, lack of sleep. Like it's a different resilience.
Yeah, it's real test of endurance. Like, I think it's the mental side more than the fitness side. But even like just chatting to the different groups, like there was some real, like you say, Paul, like I suppose it ranged from novice runners, not so much, but like keen runners in competitions, and even they found it hard. So I think it was the stopping and starting, maybe muscles, just seizing up a little bit, then they're not sleeping.
And mental, like the thoughts.
Yeah, well,
about,
you'd want to be
like,
mental to do it.
Yeah. But like even you, like you had to go shaking buckets from 11. You were probably awake. I know you had that little 2 hour, but from the time you woke up the Friday morning until the time you properly slept on whatever time on the following Saturday.
Like ultimately the clock's running for probably 23, maybe 23 and a half hours, but we're probably out 36. From leaving on Friday morning.
That's
start.
Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Just real enthusiasm from everyone. Just the crowd just pumps you up, and then we had such a magnificent finish, great crowd at the Gibson Hotel,
I heard that.
And you're just like, wow, this is brilliant. And then even just running down the quays as a team, I suppose you look like an army of ants and all these bright orange t-shirts.
But the brand stands out. And tell me, you're an OG, so you've done both years. How did year 2 compare to year 1?
I found it harder, probably because I knew what was involved, but I found it harder because I definitely didn't train as much this time. So I think it helps. And what I'd say is, like, there's people saying, "Oh, I'd love to do it, but I couldn't run that much." Again, I would call out Anna. She was telling us that she only started running in November. I'd probably do a couple of 5Ks, a couple of 10Ks in a month. I'm not running all the time. Fitness is very important to me. I think it, again, just sets you up nicely for the week. It's a good time for yourself, but I just think, even if you start running now, like it could be 3K or 5K, like 10K isn't that hard, and you can build yourself up to that, and then just take one at a time. That's the message. Don't see the.
So hardest piece was probably not preparing enough. And if you're giving anybody advice, let's say me or Aoife, how do you get us? What would you tell us to get us involved next year?
I'd say start training maybe if we did it the first week in September again next year, it's like give yourself a good 10 weeks of running. I think it'd be fun. Like if you're a runner, and I think Aoife is as well. I think you have that in you as well, Paul. But if you're a complete novice, well, you've done a marathon. I mean, you have the medal. We don't even get a medal. We just get these lovely t-shirts. Yeah. So I think if you're doing like a 3K or 5, just build yourself up a couple of K throughout the year, even a couple of weeks before, and you'll get there. You know, and it's just people pull you through.
Yeah, I remember
massively.
that. And tell me why get involved in this? What's your why for supporting Pieta?
I mean, a number of reasons, but I think it was just very real for us probably year and a half ago with Derek. Again, wasn't massively close with Derek, but definitely worked a lot more with him in his later role with Circle K. I was saying this to you the other day, I just get really angry. That's my initial feeling when someone is lost to suicide. You just think, God, I should have picked up on the signs. And I know everyone says that when they see someone lost to suicide, and I just think it's such a waste. So if there's anything we can do to create awareness, and I thought it was brilliant in our sustainability today, having another speaker in from Pieta, and it's not just one thing, because everyone can have an off day, and you can think, oh, they're not themselves, but it's just that combination of things. Like if something doesn't look or feel right, just check in with someone. Are you all right? And I think we do that well in Circle K. There's a nice vibe in the office. Again, can't really speak for sites, but I think we do care about each other, and that comes first. You know, all the commercial stuff, gross profit, EBITDA, all the nice figures, like it doesn't work unless we've people feeling good.
Great. And you know, you referenced the external speaker. I sat there, referring to Derek piece. I always remember thinking could we have done more, and that little bit of guilt. And then on the flip side, you know, now people approach me and my head goes straight into the worrying about them. And it's like, it's sometimes you never quite know whether just to give them a shake and say, pull yourself together. Or, you know, is everything okay? So it's any type of coaching, any support we can get helps us. That girl positioned it really well of, you know, it's not you asking the question that will put the idea in their heads. It's the idea is probably in their heads already. So by you asking, they might. So there's an earlier fear of it. And as I mentioned the word suicide to Rochelle, because she's confiding in me, because I might trigger that. It's not about triggering. It gives you a chance to bring it up.
I think if I'm being honest, like back last year, like there was a couple of things, and I was like, oh, they're probably just busy. They're involved in a project. They've probably just come out of something, and you dismiss it. Yeah. But I think the learn for me is don't dismiss it. Just check it.
Just ask. Yeah. And if they might laugh at you or they might dismiss it, but and you'll know who's genuine about it. Yeah. So anything else in terms of coast to coast you'd recommend? You're gonna do
it's life changing.
You're gonna do it again next year. You have to. You're an OG. We need to have this group. Maybe Sean needs to start getting you different t-shirts.
I don't even think it's that. Yeah. I said to Anne, don't let me do it next year. Just let me have a month off so Sean can't find me. It's so hard to say no to Sean. Yeah. So if you really don't want to do it, just avoid Sean next summer, because that's when he usually ramps up the troops.
Well, I'll tell you, if you do it, I'll do it.
Jesus, yeah.
So there you go. I'll put that back on you. Yeah. Brilliant. Listen, I have nothing but respect for you all. Firstly, for the physical piece in doing it, but also the ways they've done it, the ways they've all built friendships from it. You're a great representation for Pieta and for Circle K. So absolute massive respect to you as well.
Look, I think it's an opportunity to do it. So I'm so grateful I got to do it. I could do it.
And good on you. Hello.
How are you?
1 week on. How's the body after Coast to Coast?
Body has fully recovered.
Yeah.
I was out on Wednesday for 8.5K.
Okay.
So Paddy was trying, so I said, right, well, loosen up the legs.
How did the 8.5 feel after?
It's good, because I was there 5-10 kilometers, so I slowed it down a little bit. And it was good. No aches, no pains.
Good.
So back into marathon mode now.
Training. Full marathon training now on your cycle.
Yeah. 16K to do later on today.
Lovely.
So
I'll be thinking of it. It's nice and windy out there as well.
I'm sure you will. Yeah.
And how was Coast to Coast? So you did it last year, and then this year. And probably first question is, how was year 2 compared to year 1?
Year 2 for me personally, it was easier, because I learned a valuable lesson last year. Yeah. So last year I was running on my own, and was running at my normal quick pace. Felt it at the end of the fourth run. This year was obviously with some people, which helped. So we were able to slow it down a bit, and it just felt nicer experience, particularly on the third and fourth legs. Didn't feel it in the legs as much, so it was good. It's good for me personally. Good.
And any different in going from Dublin to Galway and Galway to Dublin?
Not really. Only other than you don't have a 2 hour drive at the end of it back to Dublin. So no, it's funny because some of the legs kind of very similar. Obviously, only opposites. I think the fourth leg, Jonathan's was literally reversed. So he done it that last year, and just opposite this year.
Okay.
So I think some of the other groups got a couple more hills this year than last year, but no, for me in our group it was.
And in terms of the setup of the whole event, it felt more professional this year than last year.
We had certainly had more support drivers, more cars, more bodies to help out. We obviously had the lead car with the clock, which was a great addition. You couldn't miss that thing coming down the road.
I'm hearing mixed. Some were saying it was a good thing. Some were saying they hated it because it showed you'd look up and you think it was further on, and then you'd realise you weren't moving that much.
Yeah, no, I kind of liked that. I kind of liked the whole buzz up run behind the clock, and all the people on the road maybe thinking, oh look, that poor fella's had to be running for 20 hours, not knowing that we've mixed it. But, no, it's good. It was a nice addition, but it's good to have the other Richmond on board. We seem to just have more supplies, more protein drinks and stuff to hand around at the start as well. And everybody was on check, ready and waiting when we got there. Our group lost our car in run number 2.
How'd you lose the car? Sorry, hang on. Who was your driver?
Our lead driver for that one was Paddy, and Alex was behind.
Okay.
So we headed off on the route prescribed to us, and what started off as a road turned into pedestrianised path. Cars couldn't go any further. So they had to do so we mapped it out. We looked at the map. He said, right, we need to get down there. We'll meet you there. So they had to do some nice manoeuvres to get out of that tight spot. I still need to check my car and make sure Alex hasn't marked it. But anyway, we ended up getting to the meeting spot well in advance of them and just continued on. And the guys sat there waiting for us thinking, okay, they're a lot slower than we thought. So we were 8 kilometres down the road before they caught up with us. So we only had the cars for the last 500 of that. Now it was through Athlone town. So it was nice. It was packed. It was with lights. The only problem was there was people out enjoying themselves and drinking pints and bands.
You running past.
We're running past, yeah. But other than that, seemed to go.
Good. And how important is, you said this year it felt like there was more support, more prep. How important is the support people in this event?
Yeah, you couldn't do it without. Even for me, it's the harder of the jobs. I know I can say, I run quite regularly, so running for me isn't easy. But the support piece, keeping yourself awake and driving as slow as they are, that's the harder job. So to have more of them, to have more of a camaraderie, more people to bounce off and get each other going and I suppose shake buckets with, was a great, it was a nice addition. So it's good. You think that you're not going to see, you start off and you think you're not going to see anybody for the night, but it's funny how we all kind of end up in the same locations and thinking, how was your run and how was the next one, what's your next route like? So that was good. No, it's great to have a lot more bodies than we did last year. So
good. And what was your highlight of the day?
Highlight of the day was probably coming in to the tree. It's down to the Gibson.
Said that,
It was great. It was a nice addition to last year. Have your family there. Plenty of colleagues there as well. And Ava, to be fair to her, had worked all morning on a lovely sign to meet us. So it was nice. It was nice to have the family there. But there was plenty more highlights. A funny highlight was leg 3. My brother-in-law was doing it this year. Obviously, wouldn't be much of a runner. He's a footballer, and I looked out the window at one stage. We were in a service station, and I looked out, and he was sitting on the back of the car, and he had his 2 feet in an ice bucket, cooling down. So it was funny. It was funny.
You must have got pictures.
I
did
did,
you?
yeah. So he got
you can keep
plenty
that.
of slagging for that. Yeah. So.
And
No,
how's he recovered?
I seen him on the Sunday. He was shuffling around like an old man, but he's over in Portugal now playing golf, so he is fully recovered.
He's doing okay.
Yeah.
And what would you say was the hardest part?
Hardest part hasn't changed from last year. It's the lack of sleep. Like it's the one thing that we've yet to nail. How we can make sure people get enough sleep. Both runners and drivers. Ourselves, it's hard to get a bit of sleep in the car. You get 30, 40 minutes maybe. It's broken sleep at that, so
it's not proper sleep.
Yeah, and even if you did manage to get a bit of sleep, it's kind of you have in your head, right, I need to be up in 2 or 3 hours. I need to have fueled. I need to get myself ready for the next leg. So it is. It's definitely that's the one. That's the one that gets you. I put the Ireland match on when I got home, so I got myself home, sorted, fed, put the Ireland match on. And I do not remember any of the Ireland match.
Say so.
So definitely, definitely the sleep is the big one.
And you've done it now 2 years. You probably could have got out of this year because you could have blamed the marathon quite easily. Why have you done it last year? Why did you continue to do it this year? What drives that for you?
It's certainly the cause that we 100% is the cause that we do it for. I know we set it up on the back of Derek's sad passing. But me personally, it's close at home for me, Joyce. And would be unashamed to say it. She would say that Pieta has saved her life twice. So for me, that's my drive to do. For her, I know the good work they do, and I know she's here because of them. So yeah,
you're making me emotional. So yeah, I get that. Thanks for sharing it. I know you've told me personally before, but yeah, it's powerful. It is powerful, and it lifts up your why as to why you do it. So I'm sure she's proud of you.
She is. No, she wrote a lovely message to both me and Anto for doing it. So it is. It's nice to have that.
And she's great because I remember this year she was there for you, but last year they had little balloons and all.
47-kilometer balloons. Yeah. So
it's nice to have that support.
So it's brilliant. So.
Good on you. And then anybody like myself who haven't done it before, what would you tell us to get us to be part of it next year?
Yeah, just get involved. Like if fully embodies the one thing. Like it's such a great experience. I know it's tiring, but it is. Like it's fantastic to be involved in from start to finish. Even the planning and getting to this is going to be the route and this is going to be where we're shaking buckets and just the build up to it and then on the day is fantastic. Like it's as I said, you think you're not going to see people, but you have the buzz and it's just great. It's just a fantastic day. Tiring, but well worth it. So I would, whether it's driving, running, just being on the route to cheer us along, it's brilliant. So I'm already looking forward to the next year's.
Man, we'll have to take you up on the offer. But yeah, no, well done. You're all an absolute credit to Pieta, to everybody. So thanks for that, and a massive respect for what you've done.
Appreciate it. Thank you. See you on the starting line next year.
Jeez, don't say that. Yeah, it was great.